Alright, in this video we're going to go over the proper, safe method to set up our car mount kit on the hood of a car. So the first thing we're going to do is clean the hood. It's really important to have a clean mounting surface so that the suction cups stick very well. So you can have just washed the car or any cleaner that doesn't scratch the paint. You want to get it nice and clean, and any of the debris that would make the suction cups have a hard time sticking cleaned off. Alright, so now that we have a clean mounting surface, we're going to grab our suction cup rig, which we've already set up. We're going to add 2 standard grip heads, 2 in the middle with the 5/8 rods across on the large suctions. So we're going to take the covers off. And we figure that we want to be about in the middle of the hood. Now we can, before we suction down, we'll bring in the camera plate, the cheese plate. And we can screw that in and tighten it. So now we can begin to find our shot. So we can bring up our camera and we can start to lens our shot and figure out what exact direction or what position we want to mount the hood mount in to get our shot. Once we've found that position, we can make our final adjustments to the rig and then make sure everything's nice and tight. And we can start to suction down the main large suctions. So we'll pump these down. So by pushing down a little bit without bending the hood, we can get this to get seated well. And we want to pump it up until the red line on the suction pump disappears. All right, now that that's on, we're going to grab our other 2 mini grip heads and we're going to mount these on here. And another one over here. So these are going to be our stabilizer heads. So these are going to help stabilize the rig so that it doesn't move. And we're going to grab a couple of our 5/8 smaller rods and 2 of our 6-inch suctions, our small suctions here, and 2 more grip heads. So we can use these other suctions and grip heads to help stabilize the rig and make it a little bit more secure. This helps for the front to back movement so the rig doesn't wobble. And so we want to try to position these in a way that does support that front to back, so we can put the suction here or out over here. So you can see that now I've created a triangulation that supports both front to rear and right to left movement, so the whole rig is pretty secure. We can actually move the hood with it. That shows that we're secure and tight. We want to make sure that our suctions stay on and they're not coming loose, so we want to make sure it's, again, clean connection, that it's secure to the car. The next step is we want to put in our safeties. So this is so that we can ratchet it down. There's a couple ways to use these. We can either secure it to a point on the car if there's tie downs, or we can use these hood straps. So the way that these work, we're going to come over and open the hood for the car. And we're going to apply these tie downs inside the edge of the hood. And then we're going to close the hood on it. So now that it's closed, we have a secure attachment point. We can grab our ratchet straps. And again, we want to be safe to not, or sure that we don't scratch the vehicle. That's really important. We can loop this through. There's many different ways to do this. We can actually put two ratchet straps, one to each side, to each of these eye bolts, or we can do like I'm doing here, which is looping through the eye bolts. Doesn't need to be so tight that we bend the rig, but it does need to be tight enough that we can move this whole rig and the car moves. If when you move the rig and you shake the rig, if the car's moving with it, it's going to be safe and it's going to be secure. So we're going to tie that down, and then we'll loop this back up, make sure that this is not going to blow away or blow around or get caught in the wheels or get in the shot. Most importantly, we don't want this to get caught in the tires of the car, get sucked under, and then rip the rig off. So we'll tie that back. I usually like to put some gaffer tape around that to just keep it extra secure. The next thing we're going to use is our safety chain. This is also extremely important in case the rig blows off. It's not the camera we're worried about, it's the people on the side of the road, it's the crew, it's other people. So this may not save the camera, but it's definitely going to save the crew and the people around from it bouncing down the road. So we're going to attach this to the eye bolt and then to one of these safety straps, which is not part of a suction cup. So we don't want to use a suction cup. So we've already got our camera with our baby quarter 20 baby pin on the top. We can also use the dovetail plate provided if you don't have screw points. So we've got this baby pin on the top now. We've got our camera in, and we'll set up our framing. So we'll frame up our shot and lock the camera down. Now, to avoid the shake at the top of the camera, I have two more grip heads. So we're going to mount one here on the top of the camera. And we're going to grab one more suction cup. We're going to find a position for this. Take our other grip head. And our last long 5/8 rod. And we're going to find a position where we can again safely suction this into the car. And then tie this down. So by tying this down, that'll secure the top of the camera to help avoid as much shake as possible. Now, if we have some suctions that have crept, maybe because of the position they're mounted to, we'll want to make those adjustments now to find more secure positions. And then we'll tighten everything up. So double checking everything before we leave to go shoot. So tighten up all our grip heads. Check our safety chain and check our ratchet strap. The last check is to again make sure that we move the car when we move the rig. If the car moves when you move the rig, it's safe and secure and not going to come off when you're driving. Again, high speeds aren't really advised with these rigs. These are for under the 30 to 35 miles an hour at the most. But this is how you set up our hood mount kit.